Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Livestream Tuesday. I hope you guys have had a good start to your week. It's been a busy start to the week on the channel because of the video that was released on Sunday, just a couple of days ago. But good to see you guys in the live chat room tonight. Let's jump in there immediately because we have Tammy, Cindy, Josie, Mary, Billy, Annika, Vera, Deborah, PM112, Josie, Tammy, Cindy, Dawn, Debbie, Linda, Josie again, Corey, Billy, did I say Billy again? DD, David, Josie, Laurie, 123 Rockchild in there as well. I can see Bob going through as well. It's all moving very quickly, but thank you guys for joining me live on a Tuesday night. Now, I think tonight's live stream is the first, in fact, thinking about it, it is the first live stream since the clocks have changed here in the UK, which means maybe this is on an hour earlier than it was before if your clocks have already changed. So I don't know whether that means that more people are going to be tuning in or more likely less people are going to be tuning in, but we're still going to be attempting to get a new likes record, which we achieved last week, and we've been achieving on the Saturday night live streams as well. So with that in mind, let me get the likes goal up on screen because we're aiming for the big 450 tonight. This would be a new record. So as you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated. It helps this live stream to get out there, but for the channel just to grow on the whole as well. So if we do hit that target of 450, then we're going to be having Phil Jam number 126. So thankfully, I did check my Patreon messages actually yesterday, but then again today, and I almost missed that Joe messaged me yesterday with the track, so that I've got that so I can click on it. If I didn't have that, trying to find the original list would have been an absolute nightmare, because that thread of messages, because Patreon, when you do a message, it just adds it and then just says at the top load more messages, and you just keep going up and up and up. And I don't know how far back it goes, maybe back to the beginning of when somebody joined as a patron. So yeah, going back to where that original list is. I don't know where that list is. I just trust that Joe gives me the next one, whichever it is. And yeah, we're going to be having that tonight. 126 is what we're going to be playing along to. Right. Yeah. 450, big target. And I mean, talking about big targets, unfortunately, with my screen capture, it was really small. So to make the likeometer big, I've had to zoom in Google Chrome. So I'm hoping that this is going to look all right on screen. It looks all right on your screen. On my screen, it just looks ridiculously large compared to what it usually is. It's taking up a lot more space than it normally does. But yes, somebody said purple lights. That's Debbie. Thank you for that reminder. And now we can officially say it's a live stream because the purple lights are on. Right, and I tell you what, I'm going to move this square just over a little bit, just to get it a little bit more centralized. So 237 likes so far, which is great. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. And it means we're looking for 212 more people. Maybe, so we're over halfway. So yeah, a good start, and that's the early bit of maths out of the way. I think that is correct, because if we get 11 more people, then it's exactly 200. So that'd be 211. people to hit the thumbs up. We'll keep an eye on that. Let me mention my patrons, of course, because they make this all possible in the first place, and their names go across the bottom of the screen throughout this live stream, throughout all of the live streams. So thank you guys for all of your support. You know who you are, the foundation of everything that I do, as I always say on these live streams. So the other thing to mention, I can already see that there have been donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And as I always say as well, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. Maybe leaving a thumbs up, introduce yourself in the live chat room so that we can all get to know each other in the live streams, because this is the only time really where we can interact, because with the videos and in the comments section, it's very much just offline, uploading a comment and, you know, me seeing them, but reading through them. This is the other thing, especially with the video that I released on Sunday. But now that we're up to, and that's reminded me, we are now up to 354,000 subscribers. That is correct. It always seems a ridiculously high number, but that is official now. So thank you guys for subscribing, hitting the notification bell, all of that cool stuff, commenting, hitting the thumbs up and all of that. So it is much appreciated. Huge number. But yeah, with the increased number of subscribers and people watching the channel, let me get rid of that. Obviously, it's difficult for me to reply to everybody and mark all of the comments like I used to. So yeah, I just had to admit defeat with that, because especially since Sunday, but pretty much on the channel generally over the last, I don't know, 3 to 4 months, the comments come through too quickly for me to actually keep up with it if I was just sitting there doing it all day. So yeah, I had to admit defeat with that. But we did get quite far. I think we got up to maybe, 330,000 subscribers or something. And then, yeah, it's just too much happening. So anyway, we will be talking about Sunday's video a little bit. That might segue into Troll Corner, because we're going to be having one of those tonight as well. But we've got the cover video, which is Between Miles Away and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And I remembered both of them. Miles Away is in the lead with 54% of the vote. So click on that at the top of the live chat room for whichever one of those songs you want to hear. Obviously, it's going to be my version of it, but you can have your vote there. And yeah, whichever one wins, we'll be watching a little bit later on. We also have a picture corner tonight as well, so look out for that. I think it's just one picture that we're going to be taking a look at, but we will just get up on screen the donations tab. There it is. It did appear. I thought it wasn't going to appear, but it did appear eventually. And just so you know, you don't have to donate, but those people that can't resist donating, then between 40 and 65% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link. And there's a PayPal link in the description below if you want to do things that way. Right. I will just address those ones quickly because Orlando has donated $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is Catch Up Crew Day for me. Hit that like button with a thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Steve has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, are there legitimate reasons for a band / artist to mime or lip sync a performance? So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, this is all just really down to a matter of opinion, whether people think it's either better to cancel the shows because the vocalist is either ill or having a bad vocal day or something like that. Generally, it's just going to be because they're ill that they will then call off a show. And it does mean potentially letting down thousands of people who have turned up to see the performance. So, yeah, it's a matter of opinion. But what I would like to think, and I know this is related to Sunday's video, but what I would like to think is that if there was just total transparency all the time, it means that whoever it was could get up on stage, or even that day how your vocals are doing, because you might do a warm-up earlier in the day and just have a light check of your range, all that kind of stuff, which is a very common thing to do, especially if you're on tour, and you might have days that are vocal rest days, and then the day of a performance you can kind of get a vibe as to where your voice is. And if you're ill, you know that you're ill, so you think, right, well, the likelihood of me being able to sing this song or that song is probably not very likely at all, or at least hitting the notes accurately. And this is where sometimes you'll find a singer changing the melody of the song because they haven't got that part of their voice, because with extra mucus and all the things that happen when you're ill, having a sore throat, there are so many things that can affect the voice. So they will either choose a different melody line or they'll call off the show. But I would like to think that during the day, now with social media and everything being instant, if you said to your fans, "Hi guys, I'm really struggling at the moment, so later on we don't want to cancel the show, but I'm not going to be able to sing this particular song and that particular song, and I'm going to just see how my voice holds up, but just so you know." And I don't think fans of the band especially are going to say, "Oh no, we want you to cancel and we want our money back, or we want you to rearrange it for next year or a couple of years," because they want to go and watch the band. And the whole point of having a transparent relationship with your fans is that if your voice isn't quite there, just tell them, because they're your fans, they like you. So I'd rather, or even saying, "Look, my voice isn't up to it, or this particular song, my voice isn't up to it, so tonight I will have to be using a backing track, but I just want to save my voice, and it's because I'm ill," and all that kind of stuff. I still don't think that fans would have a problem. They might be disappointed, but at least they've been told. So I think honesty is always the best policy. So in terms of legitimate reasons for band artists to mime or lip sync, like I said, that's subjective. Everyone's going to have a different opinion on it, but my opinion as an artist, as a musician, is to always be honest with your fans and just say, because I don't think they would have a problem with it. The most important thing is being honest, because then if you're not honest and then further down the line people thought that you were performing but actually you weren't performing, that's always going to be a potential problem that has come about just from not saying to begin with. If you just lay all your cards on the table, then there's nothing that can go wrong from just telling the truth. Whereas when you're trying to hide something and then it might be highlighted afterwards and people weren't told what was going on, that's the problem. So I always think just honesty is the best policy all the time. So thank you for that, Steve. And Paul has donated $2 as well. So thank you for that, Paul. And the message is 354,000. Yay! Spike those likes all y'all. So thank you for that, Paul. Great idea there. If you can hit the thumbs up, that would be great, because we're aiming for a new record of 450 tonight, and we're currently at 310. 140 more people required. That's a double bit of maths for tonight's live stream already. Now, there have been donations over on PayPal, so thank you guys for these. I will get into those, and I know that a few people want me to talk about Sunday's video specifically, so I will do that. And the important thing to mention about Sunday's video, even though I think it's got almost 100,000 views in a couple of days, the important thing is that it's just an analysis video. Those are just the videos that I make. Somebody asks me a question, and in this particular case sent me files for me to take a look at, video files and audio files, and I just analysed it, and that's all the video is. That's just kind of what I do. So it's not anything out of the ordinary, as you guys will know on the channel. I just point out exactly what's going on, and when it's a very specific question, I will answer that specific question with my knowledge base and the tools that I use on a daily basis and have done to analyze singers for hundreds of performances, hundreds of analysis videos. So it usually means that I can give quite a conclusive answer as to exactly what's going on. And this is why the person contacted me, because it wasn't a case of they could do everything themselves. They said, okay, here's the tracks, here's the video, and it sounds like it's exactly the same and the timing is exactly the same, but he didn't have obviously my, I don't know, knowledge or history of doing it, and also the software to be able to do it. So he wanted me to take a look at it because, you know, he thought it sounded exactly the same. So it's just me either confirming or denying those thoughts. But like I said, that's what we do in the analysis videos all the time. Right, I am going to be jumping into the PayPal window because I just want to make sure I didn't miss any from last time. No, right, we are up to date. So Tracy donated £10. Thank you for that, Tracy. And the message is Happy Easter, Phil. Here's a donation for veggies to fight the chocolate war. So thank you for that, Tracy. And yes, I did get a chocolate egg, and it was a surprise, it was a Terry's chocolate orange egg. But yeah, it was obviously a hollow egg. That's what we have. I don't think I've ever had an egg that isn't hollow at Easter. But anyway, hollow egg. But it came with a Terry's chocolate orange. So yeah, I've eaten the egg already, but then again, let me think, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I finished it earlier on. So it means I cut that egg into 3 so that I didn't have too much all in one go. But yeah, I've still got the actual chocolate orange left, so that'll probably last me a while as well. But anyway, thank you, Tracy, for that donation. And there's another donation that came through from Terry for £15 and 4 pence. So thank you for that, Terry, and that is a straight up donation. And Amy has donated £7 and 59 pence. So thank you for that, Amy. And the message is, hi Phil, I hope you had a nice Easter. So I've heard you mention in many live streams that you would love to be able to visit Florida and Disney World again. Are there any Disney rides or attractions in particular that you are wanting to experience again, or are looking forward to riding for the first time? I've been lucky enough to visit many times over the years, and Rock and Roller Coaster and Spaceship Earth are always my favourites. So thank you for that, Amy. Quite a long message with that one, but I don't know if it still exists, but one that I liked before was the Hollywood Tower where you drop in the lift. That was, I don't know why I enjoyed that one, but I did. Any kind of, there's a Hulk roller coaster, I think, which was quite good. The Rock and Roller Coaster, I think that's the Aerosmith one, if I remember correctly. It was many years ago. But and Spaceship Earth, I don't know if that's the Epcot Center, where I know that there's a ride that's something to do with space. That's kind of like it's inside and it's dark, and I don't know whether that's that ride, but I have been on that, whatever that is that I'm talking about. So yeah, thank you for that, Amy. So I'm trying to think, with the water parks, there was, again, I don't even know if these places exist anymore, but there was Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach were the ones. Blizzard Beach had the ridiculously big slide on it, which was like near vertical, like 120 feet. So I went on that a few times. I think the worst part about that is queuing up for it, because you have to go 120 feet up in the air, and when it's windy and things start, shaking and you're holding onto the railings, it's not that bad, but yeah, it's definitely quite high up. So you're very much looking forward to getting down as quickly as possible. And going down, near vertical from 120 feet, you probably get up some speed on that slide. But anyway, so I went on that a few times, and Typhoon Lagoon was a similar kind of thing, but I think their slides are maybe 60 feet and a little bit more angled. So yeah, it's a little bit less hardcore, less severe. But yeah, I'd just look forward to kind of getting over there and going on lots of different rides. So yeah, as for new rides, I haven't really kept up with what's new and what they're kind of making, and I'm sure that they've built new ones because of all the different movies and things like Harry Potter, for example. There must be some Harry Potter stuff going on over there. Thank you for that, Amy. Right, there has been another donation, and this is from Chuck, and Chuck has donated £2. So thank you for that, Chuck, and that is a straight up donation. And Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 354,000 subscribers. How do you approach the process of selecting and recording cover songs, and what do you think makes a great cover song? Rock! So thank you for that, Tammy. And I mean, generally it'll be people, when I did the cover songs, they requested them, or I had lots of different requests, and then I thought, well, if I'm doing a cover song, I want to make sure that I enjoy the song that I'm going to be doing, or I like the song that I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing it from the ground up. So it means that I'm going to be playing everything of that song. So if I was doing a song that I didn't really like, I think by the time I got to maybe, having done the drums and the bass and get to the guitar parts, I think, I really don't like this song. And that's before I've even done the vocals and harmony vocals and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just something that's first of all requested, and second of all that I actually enjoy the song in the first place, so that I've then got the impetus and motivation to get all the parts down. And then I don't mind listening to the song a lot in order to get down each of those parts, because when I'm working out a song, I don't use any technology to break it down. I just listen to it and then try and hear what's going on with each instrument. I think that's kind of the most reliable way of doing it, even though now you can isolate things. So yeah, it's probably become a little bit easier, but I just tend to listen to the song and hear what's going on. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie, in the messages. Hi, Phil. It was a very eye-opening video on the Eagles' performance. Do you think there is a case to be made for giving Milli Vanilli back their Grammy? You're amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. Again, this is a difficult one, because, and this is the problem in, I think, the current day music industry, is Milli Vanilli. Oh, we're just about to have some adverts, so let me just skip those. So yeah, Milli Vanilli set that precedent in the industry where it wasn't their voices. So there was a court case, and the artist and I think the manager or the record label were found guilty of, was it fraud? Was it as severe as that? Anyway, whatever they were found guilty of, I think if it was probably fraud, they would have gone to jail. I don't think they went to jail, and they probably just got some hefty fines. But because it was found that, yeah, it wasn't their voices, then the court ruled that everybody was inclined to have their money back, because they bought something that they thought was something, but it wasn't what they thought it was. So it's almost like false advertising, that kind of thing. So in terms of the law and the courts, that was set that, right, if you sell or give people something that is not what you're saying it is, or what it appears to be, then they are now entitled to a refund. So that was set with Milli Vanilli. Like, that's now the law, that's what happens in those cases. But then you had, in 1998, auto-tune and then pitch correction that really started to take off. So then in the 2000s and the 2010s, then you have artists who are potentially pitching and correcting their voice to notes that they can't hit. And whether that's the same, you could argue that if Milli Vanilli had that option, would they have just used auto-tune or pitch correction on their voices? So at least it was still them singing, and then they would have been able to keep the Grammy. But then people would still say, yeah, but they couldn't sing. They were using the technology to get the notes for them. So yeah, it's a really blurred line, especially with technology. Like, well, how do you say that one's different to the other? I mean, in the Milli Vanilli case, those were different singers. So I think you'd have to make an argument that if Milli Vanilli just made a noise into a microphone and then that was edited in such a way it sounded like great singers, then that, I assume, is fine, that you can do that because you made the noise, and you know, even if you're nowhere near the notes, the noise you're making is you. And then the final result, obviously with pitch correction, you'd get rid of their vocal because it's now replaced with the pitch corrected vocal, this noise, but now all tuned perfectly. So that would still count. I mean, that's what still counts nowadays in the modern day industry as your voice. So you are a singer, regardless of how much editing goes on with your voice for that final product, you are still a singer because you kind of made the noise in the first place. So I don't think they'll get back their Grammy, but I certainly think that it's a little bit blurry, the line between, well, what is allowed and what isn't allowed in terms of how much you correct your voice, and with live performances as well, whether people are actually hearing you sing live, or whether it is a backing track and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is quite complicated. So but thank you for that, Debbie. And Vera has donated £15.19. Thank you for that, Vera. And the message is, "Hi Phil, you are absolutely amazing. I truly believe that you are destined for greatness. You have gained the respect of thousands of people. You are going to leave your mark in the music industry in a big way. Congratulations on your growing subscriber count. I see no end in sight. Keep doing what you do. You're going to be a shining star bigger than you already are. Love you." So thank you for that, Vera. And I mean, as I've already said, I'm just doing videos that are requested, just the same way each time. So I think the most recent one, obviously, it's got more attention because it's seen as being more controversial. But all it is just me telling people what's going on and what I found from the evidence that was given to me. So yeah, fundamentally it's quite a simple thing that I've done, but yeah, it's something that I think hits a chord with, no pun intended, hits a chord with a lot of people, especially I think from the comment section. The problem is the price of the tickets. Like one person said they spent $3,500 on tickets. So if there's even a chance that it wasn't what they thought it was, obviously that's going to be a bit of a, I don't know, depressing thought that you spent that amount of money. And yeah, I think with my analysis video, all I can do is just, take what's given to me, go through exactly the same process as I always do, and then just point out what's going on. But then the other side of it, of people's feelings and having spent a lot of money, and then other people having feelings in the opposite way. And we'll kind of get into that in Troll Corner. But obviously there are going to be fans that will find it very hard to take that on board, even though it's just objective data and objective facts that we're looking at. Is very difficult for fans to take that, especially when I'm pointing it out. And I made a point of pointing out very clearly so that people could almost understand what we're looking at, because that's a huge part of it. Is one thing to say, right, this is happening and it's happening because I said so. You can't really do that. You've got to say, this is what's happening because of this, and you've got to go down that line to give people, the results and the data for the final conclusion, that you can then come to the conclusion that what we're seeing is impossible. And I know that people that aren't into music won't necessarily appreciate how impossible it is to come up with the same millisecond by millisecond pitch difference with your voice, unless you've been in music production, or whether you're a singer and you've used the vocal pitch monitor before, or even monitored your vocals from a pitch perspective in that kind of detail. You'll know that it's impossible to replicate it. So doing it in different years is very unlikely. The other thing is, and I wasn't going to say this tonight, but I'll say it anyway. The other thing is that since the video on Sunday, I've received multiple fan shot videos of lots of different performances in where have we gone? October, November, January, February, and March. So I've got 5 months worth. A lot of people have watched the video. So now I've got 5 months worth of lots of different performances of Desperado. And I'm not going to say anything about it, but they don't contradict my video. Let's just put it that way. So this is the thing, and I know that a lot of people, and thank you for the concern, a lot of people have said, well, you're really putting your neck on the chopping block, and even though, what you're saying is correct, they're really heavy hitters and they issue copyright strikes and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's just an objective analysis video, and I'm in the position where I'm confident that what I've pointed out happened, because it did, because we're looking at it. And there are some people that have said, could it have been that the Eagles have put the same vocal on the videos after the performance because the vocal wasn't very good? And that's been a comment that I've got quite a lot. But the answer to that is, the videos that I'm looking at aren't from the Eagles, they're from the actual person holding the phone. and it's been uploaded to their YouTube channel, you know, when they've got 3 subscribers, and it's just them and their friends that went, and they've just uploaded it so that they can look at it on YouTube with each other, just 3 or 4 friends. So it's not like the Eagles are uploading this and have changed every single one. We're getting multiple different fans' videos, personal videos of different performances over the course of 5 months. So yeah, this is it. And you know, I also think, you know, people say, oh, you know, they're heavy hitters and they'll give you a copyright strike and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I think I'm quite accessible. If they want to contact me, then they can do. And, you know, we can talk things through. It'll be, and they know what they're doing. And this is the other thing, that if anything, I would say that, yeah, since the video, I have a lot more data now. So, because they will know that what I'm pointing out is true, I don't think that, you know, pushing it any further and making me release another video with I don't know how many more performances that I can look at in that kind of detail and show everybody, you know, I don't think it's really worth going down that route, or at least it wouldn't be for them, but just to have a chat about it and for me to say, look, you need somebody, and I don't know why they don't, and maybe they do have somebody who does this, but you need some kind of live performance musical advisor who is going to say, by the way, if people record this song, they will be able to tell and they will know that it's the same audio. So just letting you know, and even somebody telling Dom that and saying, look, Dom, people will be able to tell, but maybe people don't know about the technology and they haven't got the experience that I have, who are organising these shows. Because if somebody said that, I'm sure they say, well, we don't want that to happen. We want to be, you know, transparent and open. So maybe we should just say that we're using a vocal, the same vocal on that particular song. And, you know, the problem is when it's, done this way, if I was their musical advisor, I'd say, look, these are the options. You can do that, but it's really risky because if it then gets out there, it's, you know, potentially not a good look. But also, you know, I know that in 2015, Don was performing the same song a tone lower. So it was more comfortable for him lower down in his range. And that's what happens when you get older and you lose, you know, the top end of your range. Is a totally natural thing. And in 2015, he sounded great on the performance that I was looking at. But now suddenly, you know, 9 years later, it's now gone up a tone, not a semitone, but a tone. So you think, well, that's significantly higher range-wise. So the fact that they've lifted it up that much is just unlikely in the first place, given Don's voice and where it was sitting in 2015. So I would have said, look, here are the risks. What I advise you do is probably change the key back to where it's comfortable for Don's voice. If it really is just a no-go, then just be transparent about it and say, look, this isn't a song that, unfortunately, I can't sing this in the same place, but I think Don could do it a tone lower. Even take it down, 3 semitones. People aren't going, then first of all, they're not going to notice, but people aren't really going to care. And singing it, at 3 semitones lower, people definitely aren't going to care about that because people don't have a pitching system in their head to be able to tell what key a band are playing in. So they wouldn't have minded that. But what people do mind is what they are doing, and unfortunately what's been pointed out. But like I said, if they do get in contact with me, I still think that they've got options to just say, this is why we do it, and just be honest, this is why we've done it, and from now on we're either going to do this or this. And I would even advise them what to do, what they can do for the rest of their shows, because they do have options in order to either put on a great live performance that means that it is in a different key, or just tell people that you're doing it how you're doing it. And it's not really that complicated, but anyway, not that complicated to solve. Thank you for that, Vera. And Karen has donated £2.29. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 354,000 subscribers. I enjoyed the analysis you did on Sunday. You really had me thinking. Thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And Laura has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Laura. The message is, someone wrote a long comment that you would lose in court. I told them that you said it was your opinion. Under US law, Don/Eagles would have to prove your opinion wrong to have a defamation case. So thank you for that, Laura. And like I said, since Sunday, if it went to court, I would present all of the audio that I have. In the video, I only showed 2. And the likelihood of doing it twice in a row is impossible. So if I have multiple performances over a series of 5 to 6 months, I have a lot more data now. So if it were a court case, the other thing is I know producers, and I know producers who have a hell of a bigger following than me. And I know that their knowledge of sound and vocals and just production, they know that what I'm saying isn't possible. So they would be a witness. They would say, yeah, this isn't possible. So yeah, I'd be able to present all of that data. And, I do have, that live performance from 2015. And I can show on screen how every performance of this will be different if it is not the same audio, because that's the detail that we're looking at this in. So yeah. That's it. I mean, the case of saying, it's an opinion or it's something that I suspect, all of these things, the evidence is on screen. So I think, well, is it my opinion that this is? And I guess it is. It is my opinion given my knowledge base. And saying that it's my opinion that you can't sing over the lines, it's like it's never ever happened. So if something's never happened, then, I mean, in science, if a result has never happened, then can you say that it's an opinion? If that result it's like I've said before about dropping a ball. Have you ever, if you say, I'm going to drop a ball now, but I suspect, and my opinion is it's going to drop to the ground, but I don't know that. You think, well, but I because of the world and everything that I know about the world, I know that it's going to fall because of everything I understand about the world. It's never gone the other way. That's never happened. So the likelihood of that being the case, that, in this particular example, I drop the ball and it floats up, it's very unlikely. So, I mean, that's the same thing of all of the analysis videos we've gone through, all of the, pitch correction, auto-tune, the great voices we've looked at, hundreds of them. This has never, ever happened. Somebody's voice has been able to perfectly be replicated from one performance to the next. Even from the studio to then performing live, it's never been replicated, let alone a live to another live with different ambient noise. That's the other thing that absolutely just blows it out of the water. Different ambient noise going on, and we're still getting replications. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't need to, and it shouldn't really go that far, because I am accessible, and I would tell them their options, and it would be, obviously they'd have millions and millions of dollars to put into a court case. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'd have to go on GoFundMe for a court case. But I know that I could get producers, and very well-known producers, to testify, to say that what he's saying is true. You can't do that twice. And we can even get Don in the studio, and I can get him to sing the song 100 times and show that it's impossible to match these lines. Not that he'd do it 100 times, but yeah, I mean, that would be the ultimate test, because I already know the result. I already know what it's going to look like. You can't do it. It's literally impossible. But anyway, because what we're talking about here are vocal cord vibrations. As much as somebody is singing the same line and it sounds the same, when you look at it in detail, you're seeing vibrations of the vocal cords, which you cannot control. All you can control is the note and where you're singing. The vocal cords are doing their physiological function in order to achieve that. You're not controlling the rate at which they're vibrating by saying, okay, now I want you to vibrate at X amount of waves per second. You don't give them a number. They do it automatically. But we can see how subconsciously those vocal cords come up with pitch because they vibrate. So you see these tiny little movements, and you can't vibrate at exactly the same rate consciously. It happens subconsciously. or unconsciously, but you don't want to be unconscious when you're singing. But yeah, it's not something that you can do. It doesn't make any logical sense to even be able to think that you could do that. If you thought you could do it, you're going to get a bit of a I don't know, a rude awakening when you try to do it, especially when you talk about a whole song and timing it perfectly as well. Let's not even get into the timing of it. But anyway, thank you for that, Laura. And Lynn has donated £57.24. So thank you for that, Lynn. And the message is, Phil, Judge Judy would represent you or get you a decent attorney. So thank you for that. And yeah, God, that'd be great. Yeah, have Judge Judy in your corner. So, but the problem about Judge Judy is that she's not quite up to date with technology. That's one thing that I do know from Judge Judy. And I remember there was a case where a guy, I can't remember the make of the guitar, but he had a guitar from 1960 something, and somebody destroyed it. And he said, this was how much my guitar was worth, and they destroyed it, moving it to another house or something, so I'm suing them for the cost of the guitar. And she said, how much did you buy it for in 1960 something? And of course he said, it was about £200, which was quite expensive. And she says, so you're telling me that a guitar that you bought for £200 in 1960 is now worth £2,000? And she says, not happening. It doesn't appreciate in value. Everything, as soon as you buy it, depreciates. But she didn't understand that particular guitars from the 1960s are collector's items, especially if they're an original, and especially if somebody famous played it. So, in that particular case, he was trying to say, no, it's worth more now. But I don't know whether he might not have had an expert that could have told Judge Judy, no, this is something that will appreciate in value in the future. The further time goes on, the more is going to be worth. That was a case. But again, that wasn't a technology thing, but some of the things that Judge Judy says about technology where she doesn't understand, I need to give her a little bit of a crash course in technology. But thank you for that, Lynn. Right, we are up to date over there on PayPal, so thank you guys for the donations over there. And having a little look over here, Miles Away has 50% of the vote in the cover in the cover video for tonight, the vote that's at the top of the live chat room. So, and it looks like we've hit 452 likes so far. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. It means we will be having a Phil Jam at the end of tonight's live stream. So have a look out for that. And it's midnight here, so it's going to be relatively soon that we're going to be jumping into that. But thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. That is massively appreciated. And I can see that Ken has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Ken. The message is, hi Phil, can you analyse Song in High Lucy singing either Nella Fantasia or Time to Say Goodbye on YouTube? Are studio versions lots of held notes? Are they auto-tuned or is she that perfect? So thank you for that, Ken. And yes, I can do. I can have a look at that. And the other thing is, with the videos, I know that a lot of people message me about looking at particular performances and pitch correction and auto-tune and all that kind of stuff. But I think we'll probably be looking at some other vocalists' performances that maybe aren't pitch corrected and auto-tuned. Just have a bit of a mix in there. And if I do find something that I think is totally natural and it's more of a recent performance, then obviously I'll bring that to your attention and get that up on the channel as well. So I'll be doing that. Tomorrow night we're going to be having another video. Obviously everything's hectic at the moment, so I'm going to try and keep the videos when they normally get released. So tomorrow night and then Friday night as well, Sunday night. So I'll do my best to keep up with the schedule. But thank you for that donation, Ken, and all of the donations. It really does make a huge difference. So we are going to be jumping into, should we go into Troll Corner? Even though I've kind of already spoken a little bit about some of the stuff, but we'll jump into it anyway. See you guys in a second. So, like I said, sometimes over on YouTube in the comment section, people, I mean, when they're given the information, especially if they are fans, it's very difficult to know what to do with that information because some people are understandably quite disappointed. Other people say, well, it doesn't really matter. Or some people say a little bit more aggressively, who cares? And that kind of thing. But I think it's a case of, if you're saying, well, who cares about it? It's people that have shelled out thousands of dollars. They definitely do care because it's not cheap to go and see them live, unfortunately. But anyway, so we have, somebody said, have you ever written songs like the Eagles, ? And, do you have your own music? So again, that's kind of a defensive response, and it's just an objective analysis that I've done. But asking me if I've written songs like the Eagles, it's just a defensive standpoint that they need to kind of try and, I don't know, equalize something or, make it equal from what they've just taken in to then, I've got to have some kind of release of frustration. And I just said, well, no, I don't do the Eagles songs, and I've got my own songs that I've done, but I'm not an Eagles tribute band. I just do my own thing. So the analysis video that I've done is just what it is. It's an analysis video, so it's not really to do with songwriting or anything about me. It's just me pointing out what's going on. Somebody else commented, and this was an electronic technician, and he said that you can't say that something has happened or something is true without having a mathematical equation in order to prove it or something like that. But again, I think that's the point of view that he doesn't understand the lines that we're looking at on the screen and how precise these lines are and how every piece of audio is different. Even if you're doing the same thing with vocal cords, you can't replicate it, to that level of detail. So again, I can say it's my opinion that it is what it is, and I'm explaining how I've come to that conclusion for my own opinion of what we're looking at, and then everybody else can either agree or say, actually no, I think it looks totally different, and and I'm not taking into consideration anything that he's saying, given my background and how long I've been doing it. So that's absolutely fine, but I'm saying that what I'm showing you on screen is fact. That is it. If you go away, have the same performance videos, which you can do, there were links in the description, you can isolate the vocals, you can run it through the vocal pitch monitor, and you will see that the same lines replicated. So that's the point. It's totally repeatable every single time. So yeah, the results are reliable. But anyway, somebody else said you could have said what you said in the video in a fraction of the time, and I know what they were meaning, that I could just say, oh yes, it's the same audio, please like and subscribe. But you can't say that, especially when there's something that is so potentially, I don't know, explosive with fans, and saying, because it is a huge thing to say that, or just to point out that this is what's going on. So this is why I explained about frame rates in there, because I'm predicting people's questions in the video, because I know that people say, oh, well, the lines don't, that they're perfectly together, but then they go out of sync. I knew that I've got to explain the frame rate. That's why they go out of sync. It's not that the data is unreliable and it's not actually plotting it in the right place. It's the frame rates that are jumping between each video capture. So, yeah, I knew that I'd have to explain things about it. And I think if you've seen my analysis videos in the past, you know the detail that we're looking at, these lines in, and that it's a pitch graph, it's plotting pitch. So yeah, once you kind of know the detail, once things start to just line up and be, echoes of each other, they look the same. They shouldn't look the same at all, especially in crowd recorded footage. Anyway, somebody else said, oh, this was about my cover that I did, because I said in the video I've got a Hotel California cover and it's been allowed to be on YouTube, and I've never met Don Henley, and I haven't had a conversation with him. He didn't say to me, hi Phil, here you go, I'm allowing you to have your cover on YouTube. All I know is that my cover is on YouTube and it hasn't been blocked, which means that assume he's not looking through every single cover of Hotel California on YouTube. He has a team that does that. So it would have been his team that haven't blocked it. So yeah, that's it. And this person said, oh, I can't believe Don allowed him, which is me, allowed him to have the cover of Hotel California, and then he trashes him in a video. So I just replied saying, yeah, I think it was just his team. I don't think it's him personally that's deciding. But also, I haven't trashed him. I wasn't calling him names in my video. I'm literally just stating what's going on. And again, that's a subjective opinion, or I don't know, their interpretation of the video, that they think I'm trashing somebody. I'm just saying what's going on and showing you why I think that that's going on, showing you exactly what's led me to that conclusion. So yeah, I wasn't trashing anybody. And to other people that say, maybe he's just that good, at singing. Again, it's something that is physically impossible to replicate, no matter how good you are at singing. We've looked at hundreds of the best singers of all time, and it's just not repeatable. You can't sing over vocal lines, especially when you're talking about a performance that's 3 or 4 minutes. You might be able to get close with one phrase if you just stood in front of the microphone and did it over and over and over and over and over. You would still get variations, but you might be able to get close if it's a really short vocal phrase. But doing it multiple times in a song, to zero sense, and again, crowd shot footage, it is just absolutely impossible. And yeah, for the people that say, yeah, maybe he's that good, it's just impossible. You can't do it. He can't do it. And again, you can say, well, that's your opinion that he can't do it. I'm basing my opinion on the fact that I've never, ever, ever, ever seen it happen. Like dropping a ball and it floating upwards. It is that kind of thing that once you know how sound works, how the pitch graph works, how vocal cords work, that they vibrate, that you can't replicate it 2 times in a row for a whole song, and then having the song exactly the same length and ending every phrase to the millisecond, ending each phrase. Again, that's something that is impossible to do, because sometimes you'll hold on a note for a millisecond longer, but perfectly cutting it off every time. Yeah, I mean, the more I talk about it, the more I think this shouldn't even have been an issue. They should have had somebody who explains all this to Don and the team and say, look, just so you know, this can be pointed out. There's technology that exists for somebody who knows what they're talking about to be able to tell people that it's going on. So yeah, I'm surprised that it's even been allowed to happen in the first place. But again, it's just objective. I'll just keep doing what I do, and it's not, trashing anyone or slagging anybody off. I've just been asked a question and I've answered that question. And effectively what's happened here is that one person has asked me a question, sent me files, sent me performances, and asked me, they've said, it sounds identical when I listen to these tracks back. Is it the same audio? That's what they want to know. And I've answered, yes, it is, to that person in a video. And it just so happens that, about 100,000 more people have seen my answer to this person. So yeah, that's all that's happened, really. But, like I said, if I'm always here, if people want to talk to me about it, if anybody that are part of the touring team want to, get my ideas on how I think they should go forward with it, and I don't have a problem if they do contact me and want to talk about it, then I'm quite happy to say on my channel that, yeah, they've reached out to me and this is what they're going to be doing from now on in the tour, in order to, either just keep it all the same so that everybody knows, or make changes so that, again, everybody knows that now they're making changes. And, like I said, even just doing it in a comfortable key and performing it live, I think fans won't mind the change of key. So anyway, thank you Ed as well, who has donated $10. So thank you for that. The message is, I get the software and tried out Steve Perry on Good Morning Girl and it was amazing. I could tell that his voice it's a little bit too, I've lost this message. I could tell that his voice has a lot of feeling, but the notes hit were on the lines. So thank you for that, Ed. And again, this is another thing that I mentioned, that there's that other channel who was just saying whenever they were on the line, and the graph was really kind of squashed, so everything looked more on the lines, but they said whenever it's on the line, said, oh, that's pitch corrected. Oh, that's clearly pitch corrected. It's like, no, great singers will be really close to these lines, if not hit a line now and again. But again, when you're talking about this case, it would be a case of somebody doing a live performance and occasionally hitting these lines and then doing the same performance again 6 months later, potentially in a different venue, but in a different acoustic space with different ambient noise going on, and getting the same lines hit at the same time and having, you know, the same ascension, descension in pitch to, you know, to kind of 0 sense differential. You know, it's, yeah, once you start looking at things in like that, in that bubble, then there's only one explanation for that. But yeah, great sings. And I guarantee you, Don Henley singing Desperado, a tone, you know, lower down, 3 semitones even lower down, he would be really accurate pitch-wise. He does have a great voice. But I was just asked to point out what was going on. Anyway, let's get out of Troll Corner. That's enough of this. See you in a second.
Bye-bye.
And we're going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, which is I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. It was miles away a second ago. So maybe if somebody clicks on one of those, I'm just gonna end poll and see what happens. It might be I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Yeah, it was. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Went right to the wire there. Miles Away had 49% of the vote. So a very close one tonight. This is my version of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Then we've got Picture Corner. Then we're going to jump into the Fill Jam for tonight. You can keep on hitting that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to get out there. Well, and for this live stream to get out there, but for the channel to grow on the whole as well. I'll see you guys after this. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, I'll have to check the Fill Jam, see how long that is, so we don't run out of time. But yeah, I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
I could stay awake just to hear you breathing, watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever. 'Cause every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. I don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Lying close to you, feeling your heart beating, and I wonder what you're dreaming. I wonder if it's me you're seeing, and I kiss your eyes. Thank God we're together. I just want to stay with you in this moment forever, forever and ever. I don't want to close my eyes, I don't want to fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss one smile, I don't want to miss one kiss. I just want to be with you, right here with you, just like this. I just want to hold you close, feel your body close to mine, and we'll stay in this moment for all the rest of time. Yeah, yeah. Don't want to close my eyes, miss a thing.
And there we have it. That was my version of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. And that video, for some reason, it must have been an idea I had about setting the mood, about fading into it. It's got a really long fade in. So, I don't know where I'd go to kind of change that. It'll probably take me ages to try and figure it out. Anyway, guitar is out because the backing track for tonight in the Phil Jam, Joe said was 10 minutes in length, something like that. I don't know why. Oh, I know why I'm confusing myself, because I replied to Joe and then Joe replied to me and then I replied to Joe. So it meant that the message has gone up a little bit. So that's why I was a bit confused as to finding out how long it was. But Joe has told me. So, David's donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, David. And the message is, what kind of dinner did you enjoy on Easter? I had lasagna. So there you go. Lasagna, yeah, I don't know whether that's a very Easter thing to be eating, but yeah, lasagna, garlic bread as well, and that was it. I never used to like garlic bread when I was a kid, but then for some reason something clicked, and yeah, I then liked it when I was older. So anyway, another donation in the PayPal window. Blaine has donated £5.62. So thank you for that, Blaine. Right, let's. This is going to be 10 minutes and that will take us right to the end of the live stream. Oh, where is it? Oh, here we go. Click on this.
This is the remarkable.
Okay, let's stop that remarkable advert apparently. And we'll skip that. Okay, so as always, levels might be absolutely ridiculous, but you'll have to let me know in the live chat room. Mic, check. Zoom, check. Oh, I pressed something. I pressed something incorrectly. I don't know what that said. As long as the red dude is on screen, and that's okay. Right, so this, let's just put that on clean, just for safety. Oh, I didn't read what Joe said about stuff, tone and all that, so we'll just busk it through. This is rock ballad guitar jam track in D minor, classic prog backing track, and this comes from Now You Shred backing / jam tracks, and the U is in capital letters. So let's listen to this. It's going already straight in at the beginning of the video. So we say heard clicking. My levels sound a little bit weird. Right at the end of the live stream. Joe says guitar louder. Turn down backing, right, I'll turn up the guitar. See if that works. I'm just wondering if maybe this is a backing track that gets louder. Go dirty with this, maybe? Should we go heavy with it? Maybe heavy with a little bit taken off. I don't know if this is going to backfire. Alright? Maybe. Wow, we still got 3 minutes. I thought it sounded like it was going to kind of cut out there. What else should we do? Maybe a little bit of... Dirty. Kind of waiting for an ending here. It'll happen at some point. Pictures have happened.
When we're like trying to mask.
No. What was that kind of ending / fade out / not resolved / didn't get to the end of the bar? So there we go. That was the over 10 minutes, I think, was that, of Fill Jam. So hopefully the levels were all right, and we kind of maybe got away with a kind of a relaxed Fill Jam there, going through all I could go through there. Really clean wah wah, dirty wah wah, and I don't think I went. Did I go full dirty? I think I had a little bit off on my guitar. But anyway, thank you, Joe, for sending me that track, and you guys for hitting that thumbs up to ensure that we had a Fill Jam for tonight. We are going to be here with another video tomorrow night, Wednesday, Friday, another video, Saturday night, another live stream, of course, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. If you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up. And I've just remembered we didn't go into Picture Corner, so let's jump into there. Get my self sorted with the screen capture. Where is it? I don't know where this is going to. Oh, well, there we go. It's gone off to the side. But anyway, let me see if I can grab this and move it across like so. Right. This is from Lisa W. She sent in not only the Wings of Pegasus hoodie, but look at the way that this has been choreographed to have everything in shot in the mirror as well. So thank you for this, Lisa W. And Lisa says, got my hoodie and my Phil Toon mug. So there we have it, and that is Picture Corner for tonight. Thank you, Laura, for linking me to that picture. And if you guys want to head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, that's where you need to go. If you are a Facebook user, and if you have your merchandise, if you want to get your hands on any merchandise, link in the description below, tray underneath this video, if you do indeed have a tray. But yeah, link in the description below to the spring.com store. And let me get rid of that, and let me get rid of that. So yeah, that's the place to go over on Facebook, the supporters group, Wings of Pegasus supporters group. Join in there, then you can upload a picture of you modelling any merchandise, and then I can show on the live stream. But a quick end to the live stream now, because we have run over it a little bit, but very long Fill Jam for tonight. So yeah, I'm going to be back on Saturday night for the next live stream, but then next week we're going to be aiming for another record, because we hit the record tonight. So yeah, if you could all turn up next week, that'd be fantastic, so that we get the same people hitting the thumbs up, and we can hit the target, which will be higher next week. But we'll need you on Saturday as well, because we're going to be going for a record then of, I think, 455. I can't remember. I think it's around there somewhere. My brain didn't give me the answer in that short space of silence. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. As I said, I will see you tomorrow night, and all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!